All right, so got the tank out of it. New sending unit, pump, sock, all that stuff. Gave it a nice little wash. Wasn't really trying to go too crazy with it. There's no leaks in the tank. There's no dents or anything like that. I just wanted to knock the dust off of it. Some of the dirt that's been on it for a while. Clean the hoses up. The spout up a little bit. That spout hose, the connector hose there, clean that up a bit. That way when you go to put it back in, you're not spitting dust out your mouth or out your eyes and all that stuff. But like I said, this is going to be a daily driver. So yeah, do you want to take it apart and take everything off and strip it down the middle? I mean, nowadays the price of a new tank is fairly cheap by the time you put all of that effort into it. But like I said, this tank does not leak. So, but it is clean. There's no minuscule rocks or anything falling off of it. So we cleaned her up and we're gonna put her back in. We're gonna move on to, don't know how well it can see in there, but got the battery out of it. First step in the engine bay process for me is going to be remove this tray and put another one I have in it. It's not many bolts here, 13 millimeter. I don't know if you can see or not, but I've got one here. Then there's like two here. Then there's one underneath, and that should get it. But as you can see, or maybe see, that's rotted out completely. So, gonna get that off and move on. All right, so got that out. Took the vacuum down there, cleaned everything out. That's the only rusty spot I found so far as a really rusty piece. But a leaking battery over time or a bad battery. Keep in mind this truck is a 93, so who knows how many batteries have been in here since then, and who knows how many in decent shape or whatever. But anyway, that's out. Even the core support down there, you can't really see it because it's in shadow, but even that's not rusted up to where it's flaking and whatever. But again, who knows? Maybe later on down the road, maybe, who knows what this thing could become. As of right now, my 100% plan is daily driver, like I've been harping on and saying constantly. But anything can change. But as of right now, we're good. So anyway, there's the old one in two pieces, and here's the new one. Now, the only problem is with these new ones, it seems to fit in there. It does, the holes line up and stuff, but it is a little bit bigger than the factory one. And I guess that's because it's quote unquote universal, but it is for these trucks. But because I've had a couple that I've had to, let me see if I had to trim this corner out. Well, some for the V8 ones, obviously you got a different, actually no, I'll take that back, because the dually has a stock 4.3 radiator in it. Because like I said, the engine that's in that is just a stock 350, so I've never had a problem with overheating on hot days, all that stuff, never had an issue. So I just got a stock 4.3 radiator in that one, and I've had to cut that little corner out. And it's, even at junkyards now, it's hard to find these in good shape. The ones for the Blazer, I believe, are a little bit bigger as well, because I've got one out of my two-wheel drive Blazer that had the 2.8 in it, and it was a little bit bigger size. So I don't know, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just stating for the record. But this is gone, and this one's going in. All right, so new battery tray is in, nice and tight, fit fairly decent. I had to wallow this bolt hole out just a touch. Other than that, it went right on in there, and plenty of room between the radiator and tray. I'm assuming these trays say they're for 82 to 93 S10 pickups, regardless of engine size, but the 4.3 radiator is definitely a little bigger, and of course, it has the driver's side port for the radiator hose over there, like say a normal 350 would be. The 2.8's over here. I'm sure these radiators are a little smaller, I'm going to assume. They got to be. But the 4.3 radiator, this has to be trimmed to touch. So anyway, that's not a big deal, just explaining. But that's that, and I'm going to move on to get some stuff off of the engine here. Get it ready for powder coat. So, kind of torn into it pretty decent. Got the fan shroud off, breathers off. Getting ready now to go ahead and take the pulleys off and everything I can get to, so I can get that sandblasted and powder coated this week. Before tonight and into tomorrow, I can go ahead and do the stuff that's pretty much on the intake side of things. I can go ahead and put the new plugs in it, cap, wires, and I'm about to put the tank back in here in a little bit. Fuel filter and all that stuff. Anything that's pretty much not pulley related, I can go ahead and put back. Like I said, the IEC, I mean, that's not, I think it's a 1-inch wrench or something like that, or you can use an adjustable. It goes on easy. Just replace, remove and replace is what I should have said. But anyway, ignition module, TPS, coolant temperature sensor, O2 sensor, thermostat. Get that going, get that done. Kind of spotting around, jumping around a little bit with the videos here. I got my stereo going, and I'm kind of in the zone. So I really hate cutting that down and do a little quick little video and blah blah blah. Too bad YouTube doesn't let you play tunes. Cool tunes anyway. But I'm gonna get in here, get the alternator off. Got a shadow, casting a shadow. Get the AC off. Get the water pump off, all that stuff. The tensioner got some play in it, and I don't know if you can see, but I'll show you here later. No, you can't, but you might. Something happened back there because that clamp is razor sharp. Almost drew some blood. It has drawn blood when I first got it, and I ran my hands back there. But going to see what's going on with that. Get in here and get some of this old stuff off. Get it replaced. At some point, I may get a new throttle body. Well, not a new throttle body, but might go through it and put new gaskets and maybe some new injectors or whatever on it. It's just a habit I have. Like I said, if you can afford to do it, do it. If nothing is leaking, you really don't have to mess with it, but who knows how old this is. It could just be age of the truck. Get the pressure regulator, new one of those. All these parts I'm taking off, I'm keeping because it ran fine and all that stuff, but I don't know, why not upgrade if you can, or put a new part on it. Who knows how long they've been on it. But I know they work, so why not just keep them in a box and take them with you on a long trip. Get in a jam somewhere, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, then you got a spare coil or ignition module or whatever. So that's what we're going to crank on tonight. And like I said, I'll post more or video more when I get some more parts off, kind of give you the run through what I did. Anytime I make a video, I know I don't have a ton of followers and whatnot, but again, as I said before, this stuff is kind of not exactly rocket science. It's really fun though, it's fun to do. Some people don't know how to do some things like this. Pretty much anything you do here applies to a new vehicle as well. Fuel spark, it just has more sensors and more computer control telling things what to do, but it's overall the same thing. Some things can be a little more complicated than others, but so anyway, where I'm going with that is anytime I do something like this and I'm kind of not being very thorough, always ask. Or hell, even teach me. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. But so anyway, but I got this off. It's just two hoses there. Well, one hose here and another hose that operates the vacuum for this apparatus here. And I don't even think that works anymore. But what that's supposed to do is open and or close depending on the engine temperature or air temperature. Temperature gets warm, it wants to open. Of course, when the engine's cooler, it wants less air. But right now, I'm pretty sure that should be shut right now. But again, there's no engine lights on, so I'm not gonna mess with it. We're gonna roll it how it is. I had a 2.8, well, I've had a couple of vehicles that I've taken this whole piece off and made my own breather. I put the sensors and stuff back on it, drilled holes and little mounting spots for everything. I had a regular chrome breather on my other one, and I just made a different mounting spot for the map sensor. But I'm gonna go back with this stock. I'm gonna powder, I'm gonna sandblast all this in my blaster, take it to my friend's house. He's gonna powder coat it for me, and that's that. Also, this right here is original. Only one little rip right there in the corner, but that's not a big issue. I save these as well whenever I can, especially the decals. I've got this one that came off when I cleaned it, but so I save all this. They make new ones, of course. Aftermarket stuff it just doesn't have the same fit, look. But again, I don't mean to complain, but it's better than nothing. So I should shut up. I'm gonna cut my heat back on here in a minute. Blow some warm air on this, make sure it's nice and dry so I'm not dripping all over myself here. Let me see. Still gotta put my differential cover back on. Then once I get it back on the ground, put the brakes on it. Get my pulleys back, then I can put all this on it, all that back on it. Hopefully have this on the road by mid next week. I still got to do the carpet, but that's, again, not a deal breaker if I don't get it done by the time the tailgate tour happens. It's not a huge deal, but I'm pretty sure I can get it in there. So I'm going to get back on it and film some more later. As I get better or more accustomed to doing videos and whatnot, I mean, I've got plenty of vehicles to play with, even things. I got a little contest I'm entered in. Hopefully that works out, and I can't wait to show the journey of going to pick that up, if it happens. But if not, it's still full of good cause, but I'm gonna do what I can to get up in there and get it here. But anyway, that's another story. But get some things here done. I still got some work to do on that blue 93 back there. I just have not even messed with that since I've got this in here, and time's just ticking away. So, but anyhow, still got to get on this. Plenty of things to do, plenty of things to do. So, see you in a bit. All right, quick little update. Haven't got the tank back in yet. I'll definitely do that tomorrow. But here's the progress on the engine bay. Boom. So got the brackets off that I wanted because I'm going to put new AC, power steering pump, water pump. Like I said, I don't know when it might have been changed last. The guy that had it before me, he had the truck for like 2 years and he didn't do it. And of course there's no maintenance records or anything like that, so no big deal. So while I'm here, I went ahead and right now it's got a little shine to it. I sprayed some degreaser down. I've already power washed the engine before I put it in here, but of course it had the brackets on it, the alternator and all that stuff. And of course you can only get down but so good in between, you know, especially back here, places like that. There's some deep crevices in here, but again, no big deal. A little further than what I thought I might want to go with this, but it'll be all right. So anyway, I might take the valve covers off. I've got like 2 more brackets I want to take off. I'm going to take this bracket off here. Get that powder coated. I'm going to take these off. These brackets here, those braces for the AC. May as well while I'm here. I'm also going to take some POR 15, and once this dries, and kind of just paint some rusty spots. Just messing around, you know. But yeah, anyway, that's that. There's all the parts. Going to get cleaned up tomorrow. Get some degreaser on them. May as well get that breather powder coated as well. But before I dip them in the solution that we have, it's just good business to go ahead and degrease what you can. It's going to strip the paint and coating, whatever that's on it. But why not clean what you can before you dip it into your tank? I don't think it really dissolves grease per se. It does dissolve coatings, but it's not really a degreaser. Like, you'll take all this down to bare metal. Obviously, if there's grease on it, the grease is going to go somewhere, but it's going to go to the bottom of our tank. But again, let's clean up what we can kind of by hand. I'm just going to take some bolts. I got some ramps out here I made for my shed, so I can get motorcycles and stuff in it to detail. But I'm just going to take those. I took 3 4x4s and just took some bolts and just bolted them all together with some all thread and stuff like that to make some. I can drive my truck on it. But anyway, I'm going to take those, lay them in the driveway, take some bolts, screws or whatever, and screw them down. Screw these down and just power wash them and put some degreaser on it. Let it sit. I've got a transmission I got to clean up as well. But yeah, that's that. Some new parts over there. And then after I dip them, strip them, sandblast, then I'll get them coated. But this will conclude this little video on kind of taking things apart. Again, I'm very familiar, tongue ties, chilly out here tonight. I'm familiar with these vehicles, these trucks, so it's not a big deal to, I kind of know where everything is. Again, any questions, always just message, but pretty straightforward. You know, I do have, even though I've messed with this stuff a lot, I still label everything just because, you know, why not? Yeah, like I said, pretty straightforward. AC bracket. Power steering goes on first, then you can do your AC. Everything kind of goes off the power steering. It's just weird. This water pump is so weird to me. 2.8 things, but like a few bolts that hold it on are just different sizes, and these brackets kind of intertwine with each other. Like the power steering intertwines with the AC, so the AC bracket, the AC bracket goes on, Well, the power steering goes on, then the AC bracket. It's got to go in a specific way. Then like the bolts are here are different, and but not rocket science, but you can get a little confused if you don't mess with it enough and kind of forget where things might go. But again, tomorrow, get a few more things off, and then while I got the time, letting things sit and whatnot, I'm going to go ahead and get a steam cleaner. I've got a steam cleaner, but I'm going to go ahead and get that out and just see what kind of grease I can knock off. And just one of those things, you know, we're just we're not going for a show truck here, but kind of while you're here type thing. And, you know, why not get grease off if you can? If you got to work on it again, it just makes it, you know, easier and less aggravating to work on. You're grabbing things, and you know, you can kind of make sense of what's what. You know, you can see where the bolts are. It's not just a glob of grease. But again, it might not have no beautiful shine, nothing like that. You know, you can see the paint is gone, and you can see, you know, the paint's gone on it. I might get in here with some, I dare say, engine enamel, because that's enamel. It's the thicker paint. You got to definitely do your prep work to make that stick very well. But again, if you want a nice shine, yeah. But I'll tell you what I use sometimes on things like this is that grill paint, because it's, you know, like flat black, but it's better than rust. And of course, it's made to go on grills. It's made for heat. Again, you're not doing super prep work, obviously. And it doesn't run. Of course, it runs if you just get crazy with it, but if you just come in here, maybe tape some things up a little bit, just kind of not really like my sound effects, but, you know, but just kind of, and just, you know, clean it up a bit. I mean, I've done that to numerous vehicles. Nothing I sell. Actually, I don't sell things, so it's all my stuff, but it definitely looks better than rust. Better than that, of course, but I got a new pump to go on. But you can do it with this. Of course, it's flat black. Definitely a shiny vehicle, shiny engine bay, all that stuff looks great. But again, you've got to actually do some nice prep work for that enamel, because that'll just run and run. So again, we're not getting super technical with this, but why not do a little something with it if you can. It doesn't have to be super perfect, but, you know, just messing around on a Friday night. So that's that on this one. I guess the next video or whatnot I post on this will be, I'll kind of go in depth a little bit about the sandblasting and what I'm doing with that. But that'll conclude this stage of it. And got about 3.5 weeks before the tour, so got to get it back together. I mean, I can put it back together now with the new parts, but again, why not? I mean, you know, it doesn't hurt. I mean, I think I've showed this before, but this is my other 2.8 I have for this truck when I get it painted. But you see, you know, that's a lot better than might be too close to everything, but oh well, sorry. But you see how the brackets go, and so yeah, this will definitely, of course, I bought some aluminum or stainless, I think they are. I don't know if they're aluminum. I don't think they are. But I bought some aftermarket valve covers. They fit perfect, but this right here, you got to kind of come up with your own little thing for that. So I actually went to Home Depot, and this is electrical conduit, and it's got a nut on the other side. So I just put a washer on it, extend that a little bit so it fits. Because let me see, one comes this way. And the grommets are different sizes, I believe. So I got to have this one here. So it's like this actually fits. This actually doesn't fit as nice. So I just made up this. It's screwed in, it's tight, not going anywhere. Hopefully, once I fire it up, then I'll know for sure. But that's the 2.8 I built for, like I said, this truck here. When I get it painted, that's the transmission for it. But yeah, see how nice it looks when you don't have to fight grease and all that stuff. So anyway, that's that. So yeah, it'd be nice to do all this with that truck, but why? We're always in the market of making things better, I know, but sometimes you gotta fight those urges. It's just like this tank. A new tank is like $100, and it comes powder coated. I've got a new tank in this truck here. I just put a new tank in my other 93 here, and I've got a new tank to go in my black 93. And I put new tanks in this, obviously, but let me see, I can show you. Some of you probably have bought one, but it comes like that. Beautiful, clean, but there's nothing wrong with this tank. It doesn't leak. It's just not pretty. But man, again, you get going too far, and you gotta fight those urges. Gotta cut them out of your head. Do what you can. That's why I need to slide this back in there tomorrow and get that out of my mind to say, well, why not maybe at least spray paint it, or, you know, get it sanded down or something. But, oh man, you know, it is a little, the urges are there. But yeah, I'm gonna steam clean this while I got it all out and show you that. But definitely I gotta change the water pump, and I got all new stuff for this, for the front and all that stuff. But then again, doing that, you're gonna see all that, then it's like, well, why not do this? Why not do that? I don't know why we do these things. Elvira, what do you think? No comment. Anyway, check you later.